Me that is curious. If you talk to anybody that works with business owners and founders, they'll tell you about the high rate of business failures in the first 12 months of a business, the first 24 months, and then the first 36 months of a business. And these are like numbers in the double digits, high in the double digits. And whilst the data are varied and the evidence is scant, one of the things we know is that both in terms of the data that have been collected, but also anecdotally, business failures for early stage companies is very, very high, very high. But there's something that I find strange. If the business failures are so high, why are there no books teaching entrepreneurs how to fail? There's a book that teaches you how to write a business plan, how to build a sales plan, how to hire people, how to build social media content. Everybody tells you about how to start and grow. Nobody tells you what to do when things go wrong. And for a lot of real entrepreneurs, sooner or later, you're going to have what we call an NDE, a near-death experience. What do you do then? It took me going through my own NDE to go, whoa, wait, what do I actually do? And by God's grace, I was able to dial into my network of mentors and guides, people I follow, people who have traveled the journey of business, and go, what do I do now? Right? And there were a couple of themes that popped up. And I thought I'd share those with you here today. This is a real video. It's not like a motivational, inspirational. This is a real video. It's for those of you out there who are going through the most right now, who are trying to figure out, if I'm going through so much, what does this even mean? What does it mean for me, for my business? What do I do next? Who do I phone? Who do I call? Right? What do you do when things go wrong? First, depending on the country that you're in, there are different laws that govern how companies operate and how different directors of companies must operate those companies. There are these things we call fiduciary duties, that it is in a director's fiduciary duties to exercise a duty of care over the company and its affairs, its assets and its liabilities. Operating recklessly is when you continue to run a company as a going concern when the company can no longer cover its current liabilities. The loose expression is continuing to run a business when it can no longer wash its own face. So first, I would say, whatever country you're in, find the Companies Act that governs how companies are run, read about the responsibilities of directors, and find out what constitutes a dereliction of duties for directors. What constitutes gross negligence for directors? What constitutes a going concern? And what does the law say you need to do when you as a director become aware that the company can no longer operate, that it can no longer cover its own affairs? What do you need to do? So the first thing I'm saying is this: get armed and get educated, right? The second thing I would do, get a very, 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 very good corporate lawyer. I know that's not what you were waiting for. What did you think I was going to say? Run a sales promotion, sell more. No, we're dealing with real stuff here, not that stuff. Get a very, very good corporate lawyer. It's in your best interest if you can get a corporate lawyer that's worked with liquidations before, a corporate lawyer that has either been a liquidator or has worked with liquidators in the past. And these lawyers are very hard to find, right? Because it's not like they're running ads on TV. These are not, injury lawyers or lawyers, personal injury, or lawyers that cover, any of those these are very specialized lawyers. And often you've got to know somebody to find out who they are, especially find out who a good one is. But get a very, very good corporate lawyer. Because what you want to be able to do for yourself immediately as the business owner is to create a distance between the business that's struggling and yourself as the owner. and to begin to think about how do you protect the liability contagion from the business spilling over into the owner. This is fundamental. I cannot stress enough just how important this is. Get yourself a really, really good corporate lawyer. Some of you here watching this will say, where am I going to get the money for a lawyer from? The answer to that question is this. The cost of not having a good corporate lawyer when things go wrong is infinitely more than the cost of having one. Infinitely more. Infinitely. It's an order of magnitude more. So get yourself a very good corporate lawyer. Third, talk to your accountant. Right. There's a few questions you're going to ask yourself. Are you passing journals on time? Are you receiving your management accounts on time? Are your audited financial statements being done on time? Those are simple governance questions. Where the answer for that is no, you need to have a conversation with your accountant about the going concern status of your business.
Hello dear friends, I'm Sarah. Welcome to our local factory. Today bring you guys to have a look at an amazing machine.
Right. And between your accountant, if you've got a good one, they typically will have connections with good corporate lawyers. Between your accountant and the corporate lawyer, you need to come up with a strategy of how you're going to handle that period in distress. In some countries, you can file for bankruptcy protection. In the US, we talk about Chapter 11. In other countries, there is this process called business rescue, right? Whatever process you choose to go into, first make sure you talk to your accountant about the true nature and state of your business, then your corporate lawyer. Understand what your options are and know exactly what you're going to do next. At this stage, you need to tread carefully. Because if you continue to go into the marketplace and sell the product that you sell to unsuspecting customers, knowing that your business is in danger, the law says that you are trading recklessly. And for that, they can lift the corporate veil. It's called piercing the corporate veil. And whomever it is that might act as the liquidator or might be acting on behalf of a party applying for your liquidation can come after you personally as the director by proving that you continued to operate a business when you knew that the business did not have the means to continue operating. So you want to examine very quickly, should you service that next order? And I know it's a difficult time because orders are coming in. You've got all of these people calling you saying, when are you paying us? All of this money that could be coming in on accounts receivable. And you're somewhere stuck in the middle and you don't know what to do. And I'm saying, don't rush, because there is a fine line between trading out of trouble and trading recklessly. The fifth, and this is the most important piece of advice I can give you. This one saved me. Stop operating your business and find somebody else to do it for you. I know. Tough. Tough. Stop. Stop. Get out of the driver's chair. You're not fit enough for the next lap. You're too emotional. You're too invested. You're too ingrained. Get somebody else to drive it. I did that. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. You know, when you go from being the person making decisions about what items go into the budget, what are the expense items, what are you going to do with the free cash flows, to all of a sudden being told that you are one line item in the expense items. When you go from the company makes X amount, therefore I make X amount, to all of a sudden being told, no, actually your monthly salary is going to be X. Mine was 20% of what I was making prior to that. Tough, guys, tough. Pulling out wisdoms is easier than that shit. It's hard. But in the long run, best decision you can ever make. So, if you can, and not all of us can, I would say try to get out of the driver's chair. Now, of course, the question is, get out of the driver's chair and put who? I know that's a hard question. I was lucky in my network. I had people who were technically skilled, capable, and competent that they could operate. And so that's what I did. Not all of us have this. Not all of us have this. This is going to be probably the realest video I've ever posted on YouTube. It's not going to trend. It might not get over 100 or 200,000 views. That's not the purpose of this video. This video is for the person watching it who's stuck in the crosshairs, who's in trouble, who's getting the calls coming in from the people you owe money, who can't make any more promises because you don't know where the next buck is coming from. This video is for you. And even if it's just one view and you're the person who needed it, then the purpose of this video has been achieved. Tough, grown-up advice. Thank me later. Cheers.